Hi, we are at the Digital Tech Conclave 2025, and with us is Mr. Shabbir Badra, VP IT Security, Apraava Energy. Shabbir is going to talk about the current cybersecurity and AI landscape and how it is impacting the renewable sector. And he's also going to talk about how the future is going to shape up for the renewable sector. So, Shabbir, first of all, welcome to this
Thank you so much.
conclave.
How
has your experience been so far?
I think I've been associated with you guys since last 3+ years. It's wonderful. I get to learn every time when I go out of digital tech media event. I was talking to somebody a while back from the renewable sector itself that, whenever there is a DTM event, I can't afford to miss it. It's a Saturday, but I'm still here. So that shows that, I've come here to learn and have a lot of takeaways back home, which I can implement from the peers in the industry.
All right. Since you're from the renewable sector and you know how, AI and cybersecurity are two technologies that are really impacting this sector. What is, your views on this?
Oh yeah, I think AI and cybersecurity is not only impacting the renewable sector, but all the sectors, but especially in the renewable sector because, and I'll tell you why the focus is more on the renewable sector because the energy demand is increasing. There's a lot of net zero targets set by the various governments, and not only in the India, the globally everybody has set the net zero target. There are a lot of net zero targets set for 2030. Our Honorable Prime Minister had set in a COP summit that he mentioned that, India will be completely carbon free by 2070. He's given a very aggressive commitment back to the global things. And I think all are working towards that one. Now this industry has a traditional way of working. And I think this technology is really shaping things. Let me give you an example of our own organization where, we have implemented a solution which is completely end-to-end, right from generation of power all the way back up to the boardrooms. So that solution is completely end-to-end integrated. So this is becoming very, very critical where AI, ML, Gen AI playing a very lead role. And out of my own experience, what I've seen, it is not only about ML, but building on that ML is very important, because MLC, you get the data out, but what next? Unless you do not work on that data and do things, there are a lot of standard things like predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, all that things are there, but that is very important. When coming to cybersecurity, I think, being the power industry being a highly regulated industry, it plays a very, very crucial role. It becomes a soft target for a lot of hackers because when you put the power in the grid, it has to be centralized. The grid has to be there. There's a lot of people are talking of digital grid. People are talking of digital twins and all that stuff in the power industry. So of course it's vulnerable, and then there has to be high focus on that one. But yeah, there are various technologies around that which can do that. And one piece of advice on the way I look at is, I give a lot of insight when I speak at a couple of places. I tell that, traditionally the industry has been only into the defensive way, but they have to change the mindset. They have to become more offensive now. That capabilities.
So think is going to be becoming more offensive and
offensive. No, I mean to say that you need to build that capabilities within the team. So that because, the bad world is there, but how do you counter that? Unless you have your in-house capabilities built on those things, then you can have a quick turnaround. So that's how the cybersecurity is shaping. Data, of course, becomes the very, very critical piece for everything.
Coming to that, what about data security? Of course, it's an important factor that renewable energy companies need to take into consideration. How exactly, what is the ecosystem like, and what all things you need to take into consideration?
So I think, data is very, very critical for any industry, while you're focusing on renewable industry. But for any industry, data becomes the key. Data is the, play. If you look at the Gen AI and all things, if the data is not good, Gen AI has no good, it does not hold good value. So the data has to be secured. These are the foundation, right from having the right encryption, whether the data at rest move, having your enterprise data done. And then I was talking to one of the partners here and he gave me a very nice input. I was talking about this data masking, and he said that you can, sort of pick the pool of users or the type of users within your organization. You define those things, and I quite like that. So that's one of the key takeaway I'm taking back home today. That then you can calibrate or configure the data masking or the data encryption and all that stuff. So data becomes highly critical.
Right.
And plus, in the same manner, and then this is where the real crux lies. The entire digital team, no more an IT team, the entire digital team, whether it's an application guy or a cybersecurity guy or an infra guy, they all have to work very seamlessly. Unless they don't work seamlessly, trust me, even this, if you're talking of Gen AI or any technologies, because everybody plays a role.
Right.
Data security, my CISO would play a role.
Right.
My infra person would play a role to ensure that the right infrastructure is located. My application person will play a role to ensure that, he's doing the right configuration of the system and bring the right data lakes around those things. So yeah, data becomes very, very critical as per me.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking to Digital
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep chatting like
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.